Hey everybody, it is TorontoUnicorn here, and I am fresh in my orgy director tank top. I just filmed an announcement that I'm going to be at Oasis Aqua Lounge tomorrow, December the 10th, 2024, to help my friend DTF Tanya have a very fun night at the club. Now, it is a Tuesday, an intense theme night. Single men are allowed on all the floors, and we got some shenanigans up our sleeves. So I do hope to see some people out, especially if you're viewers of my content. I always love meeting viewers. Also, I wanted to talk in detail about why I do orgy directing, why I want to help people have sex without even having sex myself. And it all started back about maybe 2 years ago now, 2022. And I was at the club with my friend R and B, these are people who have been in my life many years ago. They're still friends of mine now. But it was the first time that I was basically familiar with the guy B, and R's my friend, best friend, and I knew they were going to hook up, and I have already hooked up with B many times. In fact, I put up a bunch of videos early on in my YouTube career talking about how he was the first guy who ever dominated me, and how it opened my world, awakened me to a whole new rabbit hole to go down in sexual exploration. And so I wanted, my time with him was done, but I wanted my friend R to experience him, his big, beautiful, masculine energy, and he's such a good dominant. So they were going to hook up. And it was a situation where I had been asking if I could help. Could I be invited in the room to actually help assist, as if I was an assistant coach or something to sex. And so because I knew them both, they both agreed. The room itself turned out to be pretty small. It was at the X Club, and it was private, but it was a really smaller room. And so I kind of had to be creative with my body positions. I would move out of the way and whatever. But what I ended up doing was getting in the middle. I knew how R liked to be fucked, okay? I also knew how B liked to enjoy sex too. And so I was able to coach them individually in advance and tell them how to play the field, basically, how to play the game. And so I would tell him, she likes this, she likes it rough, she wants this around her, throat, or she wants it really hard and fast. And then I would talk to her, and I'm like, he really likes, a really deep blowjob, and he really likes deep throating and aggressive blowjobs. So I was able to tell, these are the secret paths to these people's happiness and pleasure, and then watch them kind of make magic together. So that was pretty cool. So eventually I was in the room with them, and I, at one point, was sitting beside R, or behind R. So my legs, again, me and R don't play. We're not sexual, but I was basically fully clothed. And I put my hands on her back and shoulders, and I shoved her towards B as he was thrusting into her. So you know how when a girl, when you're laying down getting penetrated, it's good, but when you're up against something and can't move, that guy can go so much deeper sometimes. And so I was basically making his thrust even deeper, and it was pretty cool, because she said it felt fantastic, because I was able to give the gameplay to both B and R. Afterwards, they both said to me that it actually improved their sex that they had. It made them have better quality sex, and frankly, be better performers for their partner. If you know someone's cheat code, and by cheat code I mean their pathway to pleasure and orgasm, and then you can go and deliver that to them, that's leveling up your sex. That is making you a better partner, right? So I felt great being able to help them have better sex by giving them both, the ideas on what each other would like. So that was my first taste of being involved in the room while other people were having sex, and me having a voice really involved. There was other times when I would run gangbang scenes for some of my friends or goddesses on some Tuesday nights. And again, I have lots of videos on YouTube where I talk about this and interview these people outside of the clubs. And I remember giving feedback while they were having sex. And I noticed, for example, there was one time with Amelia that she was pretty quiet. She had asked for a certain experience. She wants to be penetrated, blah, 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 blah. And then these guys are up and inside of her, and there's crickets. There's no sound. And I said to her, I'm like, is he doing a good job? And she looks at me and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, did you tell him that? And then she kind of looks at him and she's like, you're doing a good job. And then he's like, oh yeah, you want it harder or faster or whatever? And she's like, a little harder. And so they started talking. They started talking in sex, and then everything got better from there because they could start communicating. And again, that was another moment for me when I had participated in somebody else's sexual scene in a way that I felt was positive, constructive, and maybe had a lasting impact on their ability to be a good partner or even be able to communicate. So there's been so many experiences like this where I've been able to kind of coach and even give some people some feedback or tips. So there was one time R was getting eaten out and pleasured in the porn room at Oasis. And I was sitting there, I was fully clothed, but I remember like the guy, he didn't know her sounds. And so R has a certain grunt that she makes when she's like in her pleasure center. And she can't always say words when she's like in that state. And so in order for her to actually squirt, she needs people to take the thing out of her vagina so that she can. Otherwise, it doesn't come out or something. And so I saw her getting plowed, and she's like, whoa, and she was like grunting, like, and I'm like, oh, take it out. And so the guy takes it out. She goes all over, squirts all over. So it was just one of those things where I was able to actually like tell the guy, oh, this is what she wants right now, and then like he does it, and like everyone's happy. So again, these are all just examples of times where I thought, okay, I'm adding value here. This is fun. I've got no shyness about being involved in someone's sexual scene. I mean, I've seen it all. Ara and I even joke around about each other's, the way that our vaginas look because we're just like shooting the shit about it. Like we are just so desensitized in a way to the naked body and to sex in general. And some people might think that's a bad thing. That's debatable. I also know that it helps me be, something different, and I can be a coach and a mentor and sit beside people having these experiences and be able to add value. Maybe it's a backseat driver in sex. Maybe it's a one on like a coach in, you can refer to it as that. But for me, I called it being an orgy director. I think it's more comprehensive than just, running orgies or with multiple people. It's also just helping people one-on-one be better partners, helping them learn, maybe some constructive feedback, like a review, almost like a mystery shop. Like I'm mystery shopping their sex. I'm going to watch them have sex, and then I'm like taking little notes, and I'm going to report back and be like, all right, so you could give more positive reassurance. You didn't tell her when you were going to come. That's usually a downside for women. Like, I could just like give you a review. So it is something I do for fun. I don't collect money for these kind of services. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of different legal reasons that I shouldn't be doing that, so that's fine. For now, it's a hobby and a passion, and yeah. So I'm about to go and help my friend DTF Tanya have another scene with multiple men, hopefully tomorrow. And so that's why I'm in my shirt, because I was making an announcement. But I also love interacting with the men in these scenes because I'm, not all of them are used to being treated as a human in a sex club, right? When the men are aplenty, you don't really stand out that much as a human. You're more like a naked male body around other people. And so I like to make a connection to the person, look in their eyes, ask them, what are you looking for here today? Because even if my friend wants certain things, what if a guy has a craving to like eat a girl out? Or what if that guy is here and he really just wants to touch a woman's body? I want to make his fantasies come true too. So I'll make sure that he's incorporating what he wants into the scene, as well as getting my in this case DTF Tanya what she wants. So I really like having almost this networking, team building, coach, mentor vibe. It is very much aligned with my personality and interest and passion. And because I don't personally have casual sex, I don't want to have sex with strangers. There's just not anything in it for me as a demisexual. This is something that I found that gives me pleasure in an environment like this where casual sex is aplenty and I can still add value. I can still see and take it all in and feel like a part of the community. So yeah, so this is again why I like to help people have better sex, and it's been a journey. I've been at this a few years, and it's been a thrill. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And you can also visit my website for links to my fan page and my other podcasts. I've got so many uncensored podcasts. Trust me, you want to hear me uncensored. I let myself talk freely, okay? You can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search for my name, TorontoUnicorn. All right, take care.